it has a very heavy impact on these small communities, very rural. In terms of the health impacts, we're certainly seeing a lot of respiratory concerns. We're seeing respiratory concerns associated, of course, with the air pollution. These tend to be intermittent and high spikes, actually, of these air pollutants, which we're still trying to define exactly what people are being exposed to. Nosebleeds, respiratory irritation, eye irritation, shortness of breath, cough, the usual respiratory type symptoms, which would be the short-term acute exposures. And beyond that, we see rashes, we see people who express that they have some changes in their water quality. That is a little bit less the case, I think, in southwestern Pennsylvania. We haven't noticed as much of an obvious water contamination, but we've seen a lot more of the air exposure. And layered upon all of that is this stress and this community where you've got, again, neighbors pitted against neighbors, you've really got the haves and the have-nots, and that creates a lot of inherent stress in the communities when one person is benefiting and the other person perceives that they're actually bearing the brunt of the industrial development. And we foresee, unfortunately, as these exposures continue over the years, that then people are going to start to develop more of the longer-term type of health concerns. But we, of course, have not seen those yet because this is a relatively new industrial development in our area. I would be concerned, and particularly from the results of the health symptoms that we're already starting to see in Pennsylvania. I think that a lot of people in this community didn't understand how massive these well pads and the industrial footprint was going to be. And that's something that the Scottish government really needs to understand. This is an industry which happens right outside your door. This is not something that you can congregate in one specific location. It is something that has to have access to a massive percentage of your landscape. And it happens right next to people's homes. It happens with the pipelines, the clear cutting, the traffic. It is a very pervasive, very far-flung, very widespread industry and industrial development, and you have to have a very comprehensive, deep understanding of what does your air look like, what does your water look like, in order for you to really say, this is safe, or this has changed, or this is great, this is better. And Pennsylvania, quite honestly, just has never had that deep of an understanding.